So, welcome back to our discussion of One Punch Man, Season 2.
Banana,
Banana.
banana.
Banana. Was
Oh, you know what? You know what? I need I need to add this before we go. So I was at Anime Next this past weekend, and obviously this is for the three people enjoying the show. Anyway, I was there, and my friend dressed up as casual Saitama at one point, and because of his previous cosplay, he had a banana. So I'm like, when you dress as Saitama, you need to start handing people bananas. Like, just just walk up to them, hand them a banana, and walk off. Done. Even if you don't have the bald cap on, everybody will be a happy person because they now have potassium to eat. And you'll just be known as the guy with the Opie shirt handing people bananas.
and luckily tennis was last week because you were unable to record.
Yes, tennis was last week, so they delayed the episode, which is fine. It works.
Now, I didn't know Japanese people cared enough about tennis
Specifically French tennis.
because I know they love golf and baseball, but French tennis, that just made me tilt my head a bit and say, Nani?
I mean, honestly, the golf is also kind of surprising for me because I've never really seen or noticed anything involving Japan and golfing as a thing. Like, I get baseball. There have been plenty of baseball animes and shit. There is Prince of Tennis, but I just assumed that that was like every other sports anime, that there's going to be one for every sport at some point. But I can't say I can think of any golf specific anime or even anything that references.
The five best golf anime. Really.
I mean, I guess it exists, but it's just not in the spotlight.
According to Ranker.com, there are seven golf anime.
There are only seven.
Yes.
In all the years the anime have existed, there's only been seven.
According to Ranker.com,
What is the most recent one? I'm curious. Like,
uh,
what year? Do you know?
let's just go with number one, Dando. It was released as a manga in
We don't care about the manga. We're looking at anime here. Skip ahead to that part.
uh, 2004, 26 episode anime.
So you're looking at what? What is it? 2019? 15 years ago.
That's just one of the seven. It's not listed by year.
Honestly, I'm kind of surprised that there's that many at all. I would have put it more close to like four because I don't know how you can make golf interesting. It's not an action-packed sport. Tennis I can kind of see just because you are moving around constantly and consistently. Golf not so much. Like, I know we have Mario golf games and Mario tennis games, but we also have like Mario the soccer game. What is it? All Stars, I think. But I mean, like, golf is not a sport I would have attributed to Japan at all.
It seems that
Oh, 4 is the most recent golf
yeah,
anime.
Dando
I'm honestly like,
is
I'm not
one.
I'm not surprised because golf just does not seem like it's an anime that would actually pan out unless you were like to seriously change up how it works, right? Like, you couldn't just shoot it straight. You'd have to add something to it to make it more interesting. Like, you know how Happy Gilmore had that whole thing where they just shoot the ball and it just bounces off of everything. You'd have to have somebody in there that would do like trick shots like that. Like bullshit trick shots that shouldn't work under any circumstance. Yet just the perfect amount of coincidences take place to make it happen.
Oh my god. I can just imagine all like the JoJo-esque, which we will be doing as when Brandon discusses anime returns.
No, I just thought of how he does it. All right, here's how it works. He hits the ball, but he hits it in the opposite direction. It lodges into somebody's face. They run screaming down the green until they fall over by the hole, and then the golf ball just rolls out of his head and onto the green and into the hole, and he gets a hole in one.
Well, that was only one shot. Looks like I get an ace.
That's only one shot. Let's see what he somehow gets a hole in zero. Like, he doesn't even swing. The wind just takes the ball somehow. He confidently just like starts to swing, stops, turns around, puts his putter away. Like, what are you doing? And he just turns and looks at them and just goes, wait for it. The wind kicks in, and all of a sudden it's just flying down the green toward the hole. Or even better, right? There's somehow like fucking yard work or something going on like the golf course where like a tree is being taken down and like a branch goes flying and hits the ball. Like some crazy bullshit that should not happen and should not count, but everyone's just so hyped because it's golf and it happens.
Yes, we should make that happen.
Look, it's the only way to make that sport interesting, all right? Unless you're going to turn it into a mini golf one, in which case that's a whole other can of worms to work on.
Oh my god, but
Yeah, we're bantering far too long for this like 20-minute episode.
you were right and I was right when it came to the last episode. I thought the Bakuzan and Saitama fight would go on a tiny bit longer than it did.
Nope.
But then again, Saitama did go after Goketsu.
Yeah, nothing happened.
Yeah, but you thought he wouldn't go after Goketsu for the moment.
I mean, did I? I don't remember, honestly. It's been a bit of a trip since I've been thinking about it, I'll be honest.
It's been 2 weeks. But I believe you said Goketsu's already in town. Why would Saitama go after him now?
Maybe. I could see myself saying that. I would have assumed the Goketsu had already gotten away at that point. That's probably why. I didn't think he'd still be close enough that Saitama would be able to get to him. As for differences in the manga, there's some slight stuff with just the way things are worded. Siryu definitely, like, when Saitama goes to run off and chase down Goketsu, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a point that is kind of skipped over in the anime, and it's a very important line, I think, because Siryu is like, he says the whole thing of like, I failed, he's gotten away, he's gonna die now, And he's like, well, the only thing left for me to do then is to dedicate myself to save as many people as possible, which he does not say in the anime. Like, that alone is a huge turnaround from the Siryu we know, like, up until that point. Like, the guy that's been so self-centered about everything is suddenly willing to, like, help everyone he can.
Yes.
And the lack of that kind of doesn't hit home as hard without it, I don't think. Like, it doesn't show you just how much this revelation of Saitama saving him at his most dire point has really hit home with him as a character and a person.
I hope Siryu shows up later on as more of a for the people hero instead of for the money hero.
I mean, the way it's looking and the way I've seen it and the way he seems to have changed, I think he would be.
So maybe in season 3 or the manga that will become season 3?
Potentially, yeah, I could see him coming back. It depends on how much of a time skip they give between the seasons. Because, he's got how many broken bones at this point. It's going to take a while.
And speaking about broken bones, the hug porcupine thing.
The guy that was literally called Free Hugs in the manga.
Oh, that was his name.
He was literally called Free Hugs.
Because I was thinking, oh my god, what is that thing? That does not look like a threat.
Yeah, no, it's literally Free Hugs. That's his name. And he's holding a sign that says Free Hugs.
And the thing is, people hug him and they get poked. That's his villain power.
Yep. At least that's what's shown anyway.
That is the worst villain power ever.
I assume he could use them offensively if he wanted to, but he's just too lazy at this point.
And where did Puni Puni Prisoner have the cell phone? Was it shoved in his ass?
See, it shows you in the manga. You see the speech bubble of the fucking phone vibrating. Not even the fucking sound effect of the ringtone, but vibrating coming out of his ass.
Oh my god.
You have that speech bubble, and I'm 99% sure that's a vibration, not a jingle.
Well, knowing Puni Puni Prisoner... ...
I mean, he was very upset his honeys had left his home.
And speaking about upset, he's disappointed that he's too strong. And not just bored, he seemed more really upset in this episode that Nothing is a threat to him.
Honestly, what it's coming down to, it's not boredom so much as it is a lack of purpose at this point. Because up until this point, to him, his purpose has been to get stronger. Until the anime started, right? When he first decided to become a hero, in his mind, his purpose was to become stronger so he could be that hero.
Mm-hmm.
And that has been his mindset up until the start of the series, in which case he's started realizing I don't have anything to do because I can't improve. I can't get better. I'm as strong as I can ever be because I can find no one that can give me any type of challenge or any kind of like stopgap to show me that I can still improve. Honestly, he's depressed. It's not boredom, it's depression. Ooh, shit. Nearly lost my mic. Nice.
And I feel, well, I kind of feel for him that he, I don't know how to phrase it though.
This has been the struggle since day one of One Punch Man, since episode 1, minute 1. It's a man who has reached the pinnacle of strength and has nowhere else to go with it. He's had some side stuff where it's been like him against society and how he fits in with the Heroes Association, but in the end, it's always been that main core problem of I'm too strong, I have nowhere to go.
Fight Goku.
Sorry, we're not on that Earth, unfortunately. It would be a very interesting fight, however, because I feel like Goku might actually be able to give him at least something. We don't know his upper limit at all.
Wasn't he in Jump All Stars or one of the Jump games?
I have no idea because I have not played any of those.
I know Goku is and Yugi is, but I don't know like the full cast.
I don't even know if Saitama and One Punch Man are part of Shonen Jump. Because if they're not, they're probably not in it.
Yes, yes. Good point.
Like, not unless they could get guest characters in, and even then. The game would still forcefully have to balance around that. So Saitama would probably never bring out more than a 1% of his real strength or whatever.
Mm-hmm. And King's impassioned speech.
You want to know why King was actually there? Because they don't tell you in the anime. He was out buying a manga.
Was it the same manga his speech came from?
It might have been, but it wasn't from the issue he was going to pick up because all the stores were closed because all the monsters were trying to destroy everything.
Oh.
He said, what did King say? He basically said, well, I came out because things are quieting down because this new manga volume I like, the new volume came out and I was going to pick it up, but all the stores were closed. You know, wouldn't you know, my luck, all the stores are closed. And it's like, well, shit, there's been a fucking, like, evacuation notice and everything going on. Of course they're closed.
And King, being King, didn't want to fight.
Well, I mean, not even that. He even says that he got a call from the the Heroes Association, but he ignored it.
Oh.
He didn't know what's going on because he didn't take the call. But no, like King's freaking speech, yes, it comes from a manga that he read. You know, it's his thing. It was a decent enough speech. And it brings up a few points that Saitama, yes, while he has the strength, his other points as far as a hero goes are lacking. Like, he no longer has the passion for it, which, you know, would come with being able to save people and getting joy from that. Essentially what it is, he needs to stop looking for strength. Like he needs to stop looking at strength as what it means to be a hero, right? He needs to start looking at being a hero as someone who protects the weak and defends those who cannot defend themselves.
Like he did with Soryu.
Yes. But he also brings up the point of, like, everything is just getting so dull anymore. I don't have the same human feelings that everyone does, too, which is another interesting tidbit in that argument. How does he put it? And I forget if this is the same in the anime or not, but I believe he says something along the lines of, like, the human emotions that everyone seems to have, the joy, the anger, the obsession, like, the upsetness of, like, being defeated, you know, that point where you manage to scrape a victory out by the barest skin of your teeth. Those emotions are dwindling day by day.
I don't think he said that in the episode.
He might not have, but it was a very good way of putting it, in that the human emotions that everyone else feels, they're duller every single day for him, or at least it feels that way, because he doesn't remember what it feels like to feel that way. By the way, how'd you like Garo and his fight with Watchdog Man? Oh, that's right. The anime didn't show it.
No, no, it didn't.
There were flashbacks of it when he was walking down before he ran into King.
And got kicked away.
Yeah, no, it was interesting too because the way Garo talks, it's like I learned a lot from that fight, and he even points out that his that Bang never taught him how to fight a non-humanoid opponent, and he looked at it as a learning experience. And when he runs into King, he's like, "Shit, is that? Yeah, that's King. I'm really beat up. Should I even try? Yeah, you know what? I'm never gonna get a better chance than this. Fuck it, I'm gonna attack him right now." How did he say it? It was like, I feel like my body is ready for violence or something like that, or filled with violence.
Oh, that guy was trying to mug you.
You know, that's not even what they said in the manga either. Because at first Saitama just assumed that it was like, was that guy trying to mug you, or was that just another one of your fans?
Oh.
And King's just like, I don't even know. I'd tell you the truth, I didn't get a really good look at his face, but you know.
And Sonic eats a monster cell and gets diarrhea.
Manga says stomach ache, but you know, I think diarrhea is technically funnier, so I'm gonna say props on the manga for that one. You made it better,
Anime.
which is rare. Sorry, anime did better, which is rare. See, I'm so used to saying manga instead. He has to cook it. You can't eat those things raw, man. Do you see how they twitch? It's kind of disgusting.
So does cooking them?
I mean, I would assume because when you cook something, it's burning off any living bacteria on it, essentially, or most of it. I would assume since the monster cells that they were giving them were still alive at that point, and they were cooking it, the cells were dying. Like whatever it was made of was killed when he cooked it.
So you think this is a better than average episode? Average?
I mean, I think it's on par. There's not really much in the way of action here either. It's a lot of talking. I like the talks between King and Saitama over this. I wish there was a bit more to it than that. But with the characters involved, King's not exactly the most, philosophical of people.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, because he rips it off of a manga.
Yes.
And Saitama is dealing with his own struggles, so him trying to elaborate on it is kind of hard for him anyway, because he's still trying to understand it himself. I feel like it'd be more interesting if Saitama were to talk about this with somebody that actually had an idea of what he was dealing with, like a real idea. Oh, there was a good comparison he used too, that didn't show up in the anime, which was comparing it to a video game and for King to try and understand more. It was like, when you reach level cap, what's there to do? There's no real challenge in fighting anymore. All the monsters are easy. You get to kill them all in a quick hit. You got your power ups. You're the best you can be. And it's like, yeah, but there's also other stuff. You can walk around and gather up all of the items, blah, blah, blah. Talk in the lobby with your online friends. Saitama just looks back at him and is like, look, that was just an example, all right? Even though King's kind of poked holes in his argument. Because a lot of those things are still possible in real life.
Yes.
No, you can't technically collect all the items realistically, but I mean, you could go about and collect shit that you would need to do stuff. Mm-hmm. You can go around and have a social life, which Saitama very rarely seems to have one.
So it seems that we're aiming toward the big fight against the Monster Association for the end of the season?
I don't even think we're going to do that. And at this point, I will say we are past the point where I have actually read up to beforehand. I'm going to say no. I don't think we're going to get to the Monster Association. I think they're going to set it up as a big threat. Also, we never got to figure out what the snail dude was contacting the Heroes Association for. I assume that's going to be one of the opening scenes in the next episode. We'll find out what that message is.
Yeah. And so who will the big bad of season 2 be? Garo or not?
I think it's honestly the way it's going. I'm leaning toward it just being a setup season more than anything else.
Oh.
Because honestly, Garo doesn't seem like he's anywhere near a threat that he should be. Unless something happens. And the Monsters Association only feels like it just got set up. Like, we only have 2 episodes left, or 3 episodes left.
Really? Wow.
Because it's 12, right?
Oh, yeah.
I don't foresee us getting to, a big battle at this point in 3 episodes.
Because what's-his-name was landing at the end of number 9, right?
I think so. or 10, 9 or 10. But even then, that was like a threat out of nowhere that no one was expecting anyway, right? This
Yeah.
is setting stuff up. And we don't have any real endgame boss. We get Monster King Orochi. We've seen him, but he doesn't really have a character.
So having him pop out and be like, yo, humans, time to fight.
I mean, just having him actually talk in the Monsters Association meeting or whatnot would be enough to give us an idea of what he's like. He's not said or barely said anything. And as far as Garo goes, he seems like he's being set up. The thing is, he's nowhere near a threat. That's been proven at least twice now.
Yet.
3 times if you include Watchdog Man wiping the floor with him.
Right,
like,
right.
Unless something severe happens to him, like he gets shoved full of monster cells or something, I don't see him being the end game bad for this season. I honestly think it's just going to be a setup season for season 3. Because that's what it feels like at this point.
Which hopefully will come out faster than season 2 did.
Which hopefully will be done by the original one that did the original studio that did season 1.
Yeah.
I would much prefer that. It would probably be way better looking. And those action scenes would be way more polished. Because again, we still have yet to see anything that rivals what we got in season 1. Like there is still no like gorgeous animation at all. And that's still the biggest tick box of annoyance for me. Because coming off of like a season 1 fight, none of this stands up to it.
So, before we get sidetracked again, we'll call it here, I guess?
There's nothing really else to go over. There were very little in the way of differences in the manga, honestly. So I have nothing else to add.
Well, we're going to go hit the mini golf green until next week. I can't think of a good segue to end it on.
Oh, are we doing golf with friends? Is that what's happening? I'm okay with that.
We'll have to do that again sometime. That was fun.
We golf as cubes this time!
Later.
Bye.